Well, there's some allegations that you've made some online posts to the Prime Minister of Canada. You have anything to say about that?
Canadians are outraged by this video, but the truth is, this has been happening already and for quite some time all over Canada. My name is Nico Lagan and I'm too conservative for the conservatives. My co-host Rob Ambrose, not woke enough for the liberals. We are the political orphans. This video started going viral yesterday. Now it's all over the place. People are losing their mind. People are outraged. I've been telling people this was coming for, man, I would say over a year.
Yeah.
Yet people are losing their minds. I found who the video belongs to. The woman, I don't know if you listen to it, but that woman does not care.
Oh,
she
no.
has a foul mouth.
Oh, yeah. She's loving it.
So obviously I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to show the video. I found who that woman is. The original poster. It's from March 5th. So that video took almost 2 weeks. Yeah, wow. She posted it on March 5th. It's on a platform called Grooven Mama, GRUVENMAMA, Mama on Instagram. So I found her. She's right here. Obviously.
I assume you've reached out.
Come on, man. Of course I do. Bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
Who do you take me for? But here's the original post, as you can see, a Grooven Mama from 1 week ago. And this is interesting what she says, that they still never told her why she showed up, which post.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And some of the comments are hilarious. She's like, you have to be more precise. There's so many things I said about Carney that could get me in trouble, so you'll have to. That woman is awesome. So I invited her. I really hope she comes on the show. But here is, but this looks exactly like the videos we've seen from the UK.
It's exactly what I thought.
But here, let's listen to the video. And if you haven't seen this woman is my hero. She's awesome. She's just awesome.
Well, there's some allegations that you've made some online posts to the Prime Minister of Canada. You have anything to say about that?
Can you be more specific? What post? What I specifically said? Do you have a screenshot?
Yeah, you specifically said, and you made it online.
Well, because I mean, he's a Zionist scumbag, and he's not my prime minister, so...
Okay.
But really, you're going to come to my door and you're worried that I'm going to do something? Do I seriously look like a threat to you?
So that's why we came to talk, right? So those threats are made...
You know what? You guys should be busy taking care of actual real crime than standing here harassing me over fucking shit I say online.
I understand. But
okay, no. Don't be wasting tax dollars doing this bullshit.
Nicole, if such behavior continues... If there is
what are you going to do? Put me in jail because I don't like our prime minister?
No, but if you made some threats that are concerning...
What kind of threats did I make? You still haven't shown me what I said.
You're talking over me, man. I'm trying to explain to you what the threats
Show me what I said.
So if those threats are continuing...
Show me what I said.
Right? You could be arrested and charged. Just want to let you know.
Communist Canada. How do you like working for that? Are you proud of yourself? Do you go back home and look at your family in the mirror and say, this is what you do for a living? You harass people for what they say online?
She was waiting for this.
I don't like our stupid prime minister, and he's a Zionist scumbag?
She was ready for this day.
Whatever. I don't have to discuss anymore with this. Excuse me, don't touch my door.
That's I'm letting you know. So
don't touch my door.
We will put a report in, it's documented. If such behavior continues...
Blah, 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 blah. I will say whatever the fuck I want about our prime minister. You can't stop my speech. Sorry. Yeah, exactly.
Be threatening. That's all I'm asking you.
What you say is threatening, I say is just words. Okay. Have a nice day. Goodbye now. Bye now.
Well, there's some
Wow.
You're absolutely right. That woman has been dreaming for the day.
Oh, yes.
If this was happening. I guarantee you that what she said in their face is worse than what they came there for. This is probably the irony of what, our Zionist prime minister? Go fuck yourself. Are you proud? Are you proud that this is what you do for a living? Do you share that with your family when you get home?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She went off on him.
I love it. I
Yeah,
absolutely,
You
absolutely
gotta,
love it. And
you
if
gotta
that
be like
happens
that.
to me, I'm bringing the fucking tripods and the cameras, man. I'm setting that shit up for real. I got a studio here, man. I'm gonna set up the Sonys. I'm gonna bring the lighting to make sure everything's perfect, and we'll record. I'll give them a microphone to make sure I capture their voice properly, so I can make some really cool edits afterwards. We have to expose this for what it is, for the bullshit that it is, because they don't have a warrant. Like, she literally closed her door. She was right to say, you can't block my door. Like, leave my door alone. You don't have the rights to do that. Do you have a warrant? No. Fuck off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah. And
This
I
is
think,
polite. I opened my door
yeah.
because I'm polite, but technically I could tell you to go fuck yourself and close my door, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to me, like, I know she kind of was in her own zone there, and she wasn't thinking super clearly. But I would have liked her to have asked, "Arrest me under what law?" Like, force them to say the statute that they would arrest her under. But I mean,
Yep.
I guess you can't in the moment. Yeah, you only do what you can do. One thing that stands out though is that this is exactly like the UK videos that we see.
Oh yeah.
One thing I notice about those UK videos is they will not, as a matter of policy, will not tell you the tweet that you are being arrested for, and that's its own that's a whole extra level of Orwellian and authoritarian.
Yep.
Like, that's one of the foundations of our justice system, is that you are allowed to know the charges against you. This whole secret thing that you're not allowed to see. If the tweet is that bad that you need to go to someone's arrest and or house and either arrest or threaten to arrest them, then you should not be afraid to say that tweet. You should have a giant arrest warrant with the tweet on, so that if you hope there to get any support for your side at all as the government, like, they're not going to get it from, these quarters of the internet, but if it's a genuinely threatening tweet, I still don't think people should be arrested for it. But you could understand some people might say, okay, well, you can't make threats. Okay, fine. But when they don't do that, if it was that bad, they would have shown it. The fact that they're not showing it suggests they know it's not really that serious, and they're trying to limit damage control. They know these videos are going to get out there, and they don't want people to be able to say, got arrested for this stupid tweet. But of course, that makes them look even worse. Now they've got the secret police vibe that are going around at 2 a.m. dragging grandmas out of their house and not even telling them what they're fucking being charged or arrested for. It's insane.
But this is the reality. It's what we've been seeing for years in the UK. The videos look identical. Two police officers just there with not much information, just trying to show that the process is a punishment, right? We're showing up here to let you know that we're watching, we're seeing what you're doing, we're making sure you're aware that we're aware, but no consequences right now. And Trevor is saying these clowns will be happy to make an example of someone, and I don't disagree with you. But sure, there's going to be so you have two choices, Trevor, when it comes to those things. You either comply, change your behavior because you don't want somebody knocking at your door, or you make fun of them and ridicule them for what it is so much that those police officers will refuse to go at people's doors. And that's what you want, because at the end of the day, man, the government can say all they want that this is the new law, this is what we're going to do, this is what we expect police officers to enforce. What's happening with the gun ban right now? Full police forces. We're talking over 80 police forces throughout, like municipal, city police, and police services are saying no, we're not doing it. Nine premiers, nine premiers have said no, that they're not enforcing it. What's going to happen? They're not going to be able to enforce it. The same thing is real here. There's principles. I've read a lot of books on how people have created revolutions within their countries without ever going violent, because they explain, if you go violent against the government, it's a war you're going to lose. They have more ammunition than you, unless you're in the US. Obviously, it's a very different story. But those were done in Europe. But the point is that make fun of your government, expose them for how
Yeah.
they actually are. One of their tactics, brilliant. They released a bunch of pigs in a very busy city where they knew that cops would have to chase them. What's funnier than a bunch of pigs chasing pigs? That was the idea behind it.
Yeah.
And so if they show up at your, you know, they have nothing to do. There's nothing that they can do.
No.
So what ridicule them, make fun of them, make it so right now is the time. Right now is the time to say, fuck you, we're not gonna comply to this bullshit. And if you continue doing it, we will expose you. We will show your face, because technically you're on my premise. I can do whatever I want. I'm within my house. There's nothing illegal about me recording you. So you're at my place. I will make, and God knows if they show up to me, I'm very good at making videos, and I know a lot of people, that shit's gonna go viral. And that's not what they want. They don't want this to happen. Are they gonna set examples? Of course they will try. But remember what shit, how am I drawing a blank right now?
I mean,
our guy that's been on the show many times, he went walking in the woods. He knew he'd get $28,000 fine, but he did it on purpose because he wanted this to go to court. Jeff Evely. And it's going to court. It's been accepted. The JCCF sent an email this week saying that it is going to go to court. So he will have his day in court that he's been wanting. There's plenty of people out there that want to be made a case of because they know that they have the ammunition and the will to go through it. So what they're doing now is going to backfire. And if you're showing up with two shy cops not wanting to do this, oh, bro, it's not going to take long before people take advantage of this and ridicule every single one of them to a point that they will not want to do it anymore. And that's the best case scenario. When police doesn't want to enforce it, the government can say whatever they want. Nothing's going to get done. So
I think I think you're right. I think the tried and true tested way to push back against authoritarian governments throughout history is ridicule. That's what they fear the most, right? So I think, to push back on it, to make videos like this, there's definitely, this is not one of those, this is just cops doing their job situations. This is not, this is not that. You cannot look at it that way. Regardless of their personal feelings, they are the enforcement arm of the state on this. And whether they agree with it or not, they could personally hate that they have to do it. That's irrelevant. The fact that they are doing it makes them, the enforcement arm of apparatus of the state, and they need to be looked at as part of the state. I mean, it's obviously that does not mean, everything within the letter of the law. Like no one's recommending be violent with them, but do not treat them with the respect you might otherwise a law enforcement officer, for sure.
There's a great book. It's called Ordinary Men. It's written by a guy called Christopher R. Browning. Okay. It's Ordinary Men Battalion 101. Basically, it's during the Second World War, and what happened is that you have the military that was invading, let's say, Poland. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this is all based in Poland. But you'd have the military that would fight the army, that would take over towns, cities. And then once the town was taken, they would move to the next one. And then the military police would show up behind them to enforce the new laws of the Nazi regime. And the whole book is brilliant. It's all about the psychology of how do you get police officers to start killing people when nobody's ever done it before? How do you start executing the Jews, bringing them to the forest? And the guy starts talking about the how at the beginning nobody wants to do it, but then when somebody does it, he ridicules the others into doing it, and before you know it,
it's weird.
Everybody's doing it. Yeah, exactly.
Phenomenon, yeah.
But he basically, by the end of the book, he explains that there is not one case, he could not find one single case of a police officer saying no and having consequences for saying no. That was basically that was the final say in the book. That's what I was left with, is no matter what you do, they could not find one single record of a police officer who said no that had consequences for his action. And this is the same message for the police officers out there. I know that there's police officers out there that are good police officers. I know them. I've been on the mats with them. I've trained with them. I've went to a lot of gun range where police officers are there, and I know that there's good people out there. But at the end of the day, man, if you enforce this, you are as culpable as the government is, and it is in your power to say no. It is 100% in your power to say, I want no part of this. Just like you guys are refusing to enforce the gun ban. There's no difference there. At one point, it is your job, not only as a police officer, as a guy in the military, as a citizen, to say no to tyranny. And what we're seeing right now is tyranny. This is 100% tyranny. Having a post online costs you a visit, like bring you a visit of 2 police officers for saying something you said online. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. We cannot condone that. And we need to be ready to ridicule the people that do, to stop them from doing it in the future.
Film those videos just like she did.
Yep. Oh, 100%. You don't need to be that belligerent with them. You could be.
Yeah,
I would have been a lot more respectful.
I think it's more effective if you're a little less belligerent. But I mean,
yeah, because they could see that as a threat, right? Once you get on your high horse, it's easy to escalate the situation.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably a small girl. You could see that just by the hand that was on the door. She's probably not a big girl. If I'm in the door at 6'1", 230, 240, and I'm swearing and I look aggressive, yeah, that's how I get shot. No, thank you. I don't need to get shot for this. But there's a way to do it. I'm happy she did it the way she did, because, man, it literally looks like she's been waiting for this for her whole life. Like, when are they gonna?
She's played out that scenario a few times in her head. She was all ready.
But I want her on the show. I have reached out to her. Hopefully, I do get her on the show to speak about this. And I want to take a few of the comments, because I agree. Like Sabrina saying that, or Serena, my apologies, intimidation. I agree. This is all what it's about. Sandra saying the same thing. Intimidation 101. It's most people don't want to have the visit of the police. And I get it. I understand that. That's not a comfortable feeling, obviously. But that's why they do it. That's exactly why they do it. And if we ridicule them for doing it, we record them, we film them, we put that stuff online, I guarantee you it's not going to take long before they don't want to do it. And I don't remember if it was on this show or if it was on another podcast, but I was in a conversation with a guy that was explaining how he comes from a small town, and I'm pretty sure it was on here. I think it was about, we were talking about guns, how, when you come from a small community, you don't want to go and grab people's guns. You know those people personally.
No. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You're liable.
That's a real thing. Like, that's a real psychological phenomenon there.
It's not like you're in Toronto and
you don't know
there's millions. No, when you're in a small town, you know everybody.
You've probably gone shooting with that guy, right? Like,
and you don't want to be the guy that shows up to his place to say, "Hey, bro, your social media post is gonna get you in." No. So, but we have to bring back that small town mentality to the big cities to say, the next person could be your cousin, could be your brother, could be your sister, could be somebody that you know personally, where you show up for this. If you encourage this right now, if you reinforce this right now, it's just a matter of time before you actually knock at the door of somebody you know. Yeah, and it's on you, man. You being a police officer is not an easy job. You chose that job. It pays well. There's consequences to those responsibilities.
Once you be an enforcement arm of the state, if you become the state apparatus enforcing speech laws and blasphemy laws and mean tweet laws, and you no longer get to say, "Hey, I'm just doing my job."
That's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit, and you are as responsible as the government laws you're enforcing. Yeah. If that's the way you think, you're as responsible as the government is, plain and simple, no questions about it. There's a moral. We give that type of authority to people that we believe, at least in principle, have morals.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
people
it's a
that can be
contract.
trusted.
There's a contract there to
Yep.
you know, that police officers are. If you think about it, like we tend to think of a job, but really what it is, it's a group of people that society has entrusted with the privilege of overseeing us and our our conduct and our behavior. And when people break the rules, this group of people, it's their job to put them away. That's a high position of trust and responsibility. And it comes with it certain expectations of your own character and your own behavior. And to me, that breaks that contract.
You know, ivermectin saying she just sounded like a real conservative to me. I don't disagree. I don't see anything wrong with what she said. I'm not belligerent like that with people. I don't really care what you've done to me. I'm not gonna lose my shit like this. But also, you still gotta be respectful in a certain. It's very guys. You have to understand that most of those police officers are not trained. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to defend themselves. They don't know how to use the gun that they're allowed to carry every day with them. Make them nervous, and you probably will get shot. Look at the US. It happens all the time. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying you got to be careful. If you're 5'2", you weigh 110 pounds. She said it herself. Do you really think I'm a threat? I'm paraphrasing here. I don't think she was a threat. She lost her mind and there was no consequences, but no. They see you as a threat. There's no reason. That's the thing. There's no reason to go down that path if you don't have to. I fully understand why she did it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that she's wrong. I actually enjoyed it quite a lot because she has a pouty mouth. She has a mouth on her. I love it. Oh, yeah. But you don't need to go down that route if you don't want to. Just saying.
No, for sure. I also want to take this one. I'm recommending because this is the second time he said something. I'm not sure if I'm reading this correctly. He says, but they still should arrest me for words, right, Rob? Do you think that I think that anyone should be arrested for words? Because I don't know where you're coming from this. I literally very explicitly said they should not be arresting anyone for any words, even if they are offensive, even if they are a threat. If it's a plausible threat, a reasonable threat, then I assume there's some sort of Secret Service like group designed whose job it is to protect the Prime Minister of the United States, and they can investigate that. I'm sure they've been doing investigating those kinds of threats for decades. I don't have any issue with that. But this idea that I think that anyway, any this is okay in any way, shape, or form. I'm not really sure where you're getting this. I as opposed to arresting anyone for speech as you can be. That's always been my position here.
If you think that I think, I like that. That's a good way. If you think that I think. I wanted to take this one. Mobs 3006 is saying no moral value. Look what COVID did. Turn brothers against brothers.
Sure.
Hey, listen, I'm not implying that they all have moral values. What I said is that this is kind of what we expect. When you give a certain amount of authority to people like police officers, let's say like doctors, you expect them to have some type of moral system or values that they live by. Is that true or not? Well, as you said, COVID was definitely a good way to expose that it is not necessarily the case anymore. But I still want to be an optimist. I still want to believe that there are still good people out there and they all have a breaking point, as in there's a line they will not cross. But also, if you look at COVID, there was no consequences for them either, right? The only consequences were for guys like me that lost their livelihood over it, but there wasn't any consequences for law enforcement. No. Now there could be direct. There's a way right now to ridicule them from the get-go. Just film them. There's nothing illegal about filming them. Shame them. You know, we've said this before on the show. Fat shaming has valid consequences. It does. Oh, yeah. It has valid consequences.
It had a useful social. There was a useful social function to shame, and we've lost that. We need to bring that back.
And this is how one of the ways you can do it is if police officers show up to your door because of a tweet that you made, just like that woman here in Canada. It's in Toronto, as per what I was finding out.
Yep.
ridicule them,
Yeah,
film
try
them,
'em.
record them, show it online, send it to me. I'll happily edit it for you and share
yeah.
it. I will be happy. Send it over. info@nicolagan.com. You want that shit to go viral? Send it to me. I will happily, willfully, all pleasure do it for you. Absolutely would enjoy that.
Absolutely.
I'll even, if you guys send enough, I'll do a montage with some music in the background, like skipping from one to the other. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, film them. It's a great way to shame them into them not wanting to do it, especially right now where there's not really any consequences. It's an easy one. That's just easy. Anything else you wanted to add before
No. Just to reiterate that, film this. If this happens to you, film it. Speak up. You can go wild if you want, like she did, or you could be calm if that's your preferred way, but just film it. It's the important thing. Get it out there. Send it to us. We'll play it.
Yep. Oh yeah, 100%. Before we get to our guest of the show, I need to tell you that this episode is brought to you by Miss Cleo's Pet Treats. 100% natural, healthy dog treats made by hand right here in Canada. Not only is it all handmade, but she sources all the meat from local farms in Manitoba, so none of that nasty Chinese crap that you buy at Walmart, because you know what? Your dog deserves better. Go to cleoscookiesandtreats.ca, use the discount code political orphans and get 20% off your entire purchase. Just look in the comment section. The link is there. The discount code is there. Go get food for your dog that it deserves. And I'm telling you, man, I have a 100-pound German Shepherd. She's right behind me right now. She would love for me to go grab her some, but I'm not, because I'm here with you guys. But thumbs up, Matt, if you can hear us. If you're ready to go, awesome. We are joined by Matt Alexander. Him and his wife were fired from teaching by the Renfrew County District School Board for refusing to celebrate and affirm LGBTQ values. Matt, welcome. I'm so happy that you did what you did. I'm going to start right there. Good for you. Good for you and your wife. Good for you.
Thank you. Really, there wasn't much to it. I mean, we were just doing what was right. We were asked to do something that was outside of our moral boundaries, outside of that which our faith required, and to me, common sense would require. And we just said no. So,
what was it exactly? If you want to take us through, because that happened in 2023.
That's right.
And you guys are still going through it. You're defended by the JCCF, which the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom. We had John Carpe on the show yesterday. We probably have had him 7, 8, 10 times over the past few months. He's our guy. We absolutely love the JCCF. So I was very happy to see that they were representing you and your wife. But if you want to bring it back to what actually happened and what is it that they wanted you to celebrate and affirm?
Yeah, so I was given a call on a Monday night after having taught in school all day long and got told just to not come back into work. I wasn't told why. There's no reasoning given. Just don't show up, make plans for 3 days so the kids can keep going, and don't you return. And I found out the next day when talking to my union that it had something to do with social media posts, which was weird because I didn't have social media. I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't on X, nothing. Mm-hmm. And anyway, found out later that it had something to do with something that other people had posted about me. Now, my son is kind of a little better known than I am, Josh Alexander. He took a stand against girls in or males in girls' washrooms and drag queen story hour, and he was removed from school permanently, and he has an ongoing case. Anyway, so some months down the road where I just got called to don't come in. So it was connected to that, the posts about me. And so the board took that as a reason that I shouldn't be in the classroom, I guess. And we were in suspense for a number of months, waiting to find out what this was all about. And then a few weeks later, after I was pulled off, my wife got pulled off. She also taught in the same school board. And yeah, we went through some discussions with the school board, discussions with the union. The union wound up dropping us. The board terminated us. And yeah, so the final termination was because we were told that despite their difficulties with us, they said if we would agree to celebrate and affirm LGBTQ, then we could maintain our positions and our employment and income. And we said no. It was an easy answer to give.
Wow, that's unreal.
What does that mean exactly? Celebrate?
Yeah,
and
what
affirm?
did
I'm
they
just
want
curious.
you to do?
Yeah,
Well,
because that sounds.
This is part of
You must march in the parade.
Yeah.
Wearing just this G-string.
it was never.
I don't mean to make light of it. I know it's
no, but those things were never spelled out. And there's a question I asked. I said, "What does it mean? What does it mean to celebrate and affirm?" First of all, as a Christian, I'm not celebrating it. Period.
Sure.
As I don't celebrate Ramadan, and I don't celebrate,
How dare you?
Hindu holidays. I said,
well, if you were Muslim, it would be understood that you would not celebrate it. They wouldn't even ask. So. They wouldn't even ask you to.
You would think so,
which is interesting.
But no, we were given a requirement. We said, well, no, we're not going to do that, and that was it. It was termination, right there and then. So. Yeah, they never spelled out exactly what that meant. That's been a policy. I don't know, probably going back to about 2016 or 17 or so that the school board had a policy, but it never affected anything I did. I taught for over 23 years and never affected my workday until they called it out.
So what's been the aftermath, Matt? What have you and your wife gotten teaching jobs elsewhere? Has this followed you around or what?
No, oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't get hired as a school teacher when you've been fired for not supporting DEI, LGBTQ. I mean, you need to be towing the alphabet line, or you're not employable. So no, we've been doing some retraining, doing some different things, but. Yeah, no, it's been a struggle. We had to sell our house. We had to completely reestablish our life in different ways, and it's a work in progress.
It's one of those things that blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind that I need to reaffirm the mental illness of individuals. We literally live in a world, and this is me saying this. I know you have an open case. This is me saying it. This is not you agreeing with me. This is me passing a comment saying that it is insane that we need to reaffirm insanity. And it's the same, to me, it's the same thing. I'm a gym rat. I've always been in shape. I've competed in martial arts. So to me, I take very good care of myself. And it's the same thing as going to see someone that's anorexic or bulimic and say, you know what? You're too fat. You know what? No, you're not throwing up enough. I think you should throw up. You know what? Yeah, no, throw up more. You need to throw up more. You're too fat. It's the same thing. We would never do that. Yet we reaffirm this type of mental disease, mental illness, and it is recognized as a mental illness. This is not hateful to say. It's in the DS5. If you look at the medical definition, it is a mental issue. But we literally live in a country where the asylum has, like, the patients are running the asylum, and people like you are paying the price for having values. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Well, it borders on a thought crime. Right? If you don't think
100%
according to groupthink, then you are ostracized. You are removed. As a Christian, it's a mandate for me to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, to share that Jesus died, was buried, and rose again for the salvation of sins. I'm mandated to share that. Well, when I go to the work, I don't impose that on the kids who are there. That's I'm on the clock. I'm being paid. That's not for me to share a personal view, but I am required to adopt, not just accept or respect, but to adopt another person's viewpoint on a biological matter. And it seems
I think you nailed it on the head there, Matt, when you said it's not about respecting. Because I've seen lots of people who have been fired from their jobs or so-called canceled or whatnot, and they're perfectly respectful of the fact that LGBT people should have the same rights as everyone else. but that's not what's being asked of them. It's like, I guarantee you that where they said celebrate the LGBTQ community, it almost guaranteed, if you had really dug into that, it would have been something to do with saying that men can become women, and women can have penises, men can give birth, because that's really all they care about these days anyways. They don't even care about the regular gays, as JD Vance might say, the normal gays. Now they're hating on them, because even those people are saying, no, this trans stuff is insane. Like, men cannot become women. Women cannot have a penis. That has nothing to do with being gay. And so, like, obviously, I understand as a Christian, your main concerns are sort of religious in nature, but there's also an argument to be had just on fundamental truth. If you
100%.
value truth, you should be opposed to this. You should
freedom
not be
freedom of thought. You don't need to be a Christian
Absolutely.
to be in this dispute. I mean, it's
100%.
yeah, absolutely.
And this is the part that is very hard for me to comprehend, because to me, the whole LGBTQ agenda is a religion. It takes a lot more faith for me to believe that a man can become a woman and a woman can have a penis than believing in Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian. It takes way more faith to believe that a man can be a woman than to believe that Christ died on the cross for my sins. That's my view. It is a religion that you're not allowed to question. And I'm going to concur with what you said and what Rob is saying. You are not bringing your personal beliefs at work. Why are they allowed to do that? Why does it only run one way it's only one way? Okay, I have personal values, sure. Does that mean I'm going to indoctrinate your children into my values? No, but that means the same thing to you. It's the same. This goes both ways. It's not just one way. And I got to say, now that I'm thinking about it, I did not realize that your son was Josh Alexander. Man, it runs in the family. You did something right, brother. You did something right, because he was I was at the NCI last year in Kitchener, Waterloo, and he gave a speech there. Good for him. It makes sense now. I fully understand where he gets it from, because it's always like that, right? When you see a 14 or a 16-year-old do this, go in front of women's bathroom and refuse the little boys to go in there, he was taught right. Somebody at home, most of the time it's the father when it comes to a boy. So good for you. It makes me happy that it's that he's your son. Good for you. Good for you, man. Because you did something right. You absolutely did something right.
Proud of that, for sure.
Thank you.
So right now you're with the Justice Center, because there's quite a few comments that are saying, hey, lower you up. Told them, bring them to court. Guys, just so you know, this has been ongoing since 2023, and he's with the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom, which John Carpe, their president's friend of the show, he was here yesterday with me arguing about Bill C-9. And that's where I wanted to ask you, what do you read bills? Do you look at the bills that are being pushed by our government?
I generally do, yeah.
So did you read Bill C-16? Because considering what you're in trouble for, or you got in trouble for, Bill 16 wants to reaffirm gender and prevent violence against anybody that's not heterosexual, not white heterosexual. Let's be honest here.
No.
And Bill C-16 is not good for teachers like you. Like, this is absolutely terrible for guys like you.
Interesting what they mean by prevent violence too, because violence these days doesn't seem to mean the dictionary definition of violence. It's expanded.
One of the things that Rob said, and I'm curious to see, he kind of said it as a joke, but I wanted to ask you this question. Do you think that if you were not a white Christian, they would have come after you? And feel free not to answer that question. You don't have to answer it. I'm that jackass that always asks the questions that I want to get answers to. So
I have no idea how they would respond in that situation. We haven't seen it happen, so I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe that's the answer right there.
You're a smart guy.
Yeah.
I got my answer.
Yeah.
You answered my question.
Correct. We have not seen it happen. Make of that what you will. Matt, what, and again, this is another one of those, feel free not to answer or whatever as you see fit, but what is the sort of updates you can give us on the court case with the Justice Center? I know it's probably a bit hush-hush, but if you're able to tell us anything.
I can give a general update. So we have so there's 4 actions going on, 2 for myself and 2 for my wife. We have a human rights complaint, each of us, against the school board, because the school board did the terminating, and we are arguing they violated our human rights as our Christians and our charter rights of freedom of religion and freedom of speech and freedom of conscience and so forth. So those cases are filed, and they're sort of on hold as our other cases against the union are underway. So the union case is actually live and active, and they're waiting for an outcome on the cases against the union until they can proceed with the human rights complaint. So so we've taken the union to the labor board, each of us, because they began to handle the case through the regular processes, and then dropped us in terms of our charter rights and human rights. They didn't want to touch those matters. So we're no longer members. We're gone. We're done, and termination stands. So we're taking them to the labor board to see if we can get some action done on that. It'll be a tough battle, but we're fighting.
We got a comment that I don't know if you're able to address, but you steered the soul as saying, here's something most Canadians don't know. If you're in a union in Canada, you cannot sue the union or your employer. However, seeing that the union dropped Matt and his wife, he should be able to sue them. Is that true? Because I did not know.
It's largely true. And that's what people always tell me when they find out this happened, right? They say, well, sue them, sue their pants off. It doesn't work that way. When you're unionized, so the commenter there is correct, you have no rights. The union holds your rights. So all your charter rights, all those things, you don't hold them as an individual. The union does.
So you can't sue them outside the union?
No, the union is your only avenue, which should be good, because unions are generally quite powerful and quite capable, and to have deep pockets, and they can defend you. But when they choose not to, you're stuck with really no avenue except for the Human Rights Tribunal. And that'd be
sounds like that might be a tall order.
A tall order for sure, because I think we've watched the decisions that come out of the Human Rights Tribunal. They tend to lean a certain way. So the only avenue we really have against the union is the labor board. And really, it's the same kind of thing. The labor board is not generally, it's generally favorable to the unions. So not to say you can't have victory, and we're going for it, but it'll be an uphill battle. So yes,
they're not
addressed his comment. I'm not sure, but that workers should be aware. We got a lot of unionized workers in Canada. You don't have any rights. The union does.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do you have any recourse to sue the government directly, considering that you're provincial employees, right? Teachers, technically, they work under the provincial government. So is there not a way for you, the JCCF, to go after if nothing happens with the labor, with your union, whatever the reason is, you can't go after them. Couldn't you go after the provincial government?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but given the discussions I've had, the short answer is no, but there may be a possibility.
Yeah. Just the but. Again, we deal with the JCCF all the time. We've had a bunch of their lawyers too on the show. So your but it answers the question. There's always a way through. And especially now, I don't know if you saw that. I have to read a bit more into it, but it seems that there's a lawyer that's going after the government again for using the Emergency Act unconstitutionally. That came out, I believe it came out today, that it might be accepted to go after them. So that kind of opens the door to cases like yours. If you can really go after the government directly, that could be good. That could be good for your case. But I'm very happy that you're with the JCCF. I have a lot of faith in those lawyers.
Yeah, we got good.
If I ever get in trouble for what I do, this is definitely who I'm calling.
Sure.
I shouldn't laugh at this. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to downplay what's happening to you. I'm happy that you're probably very well taken care of. I'm happy that your son is who your son is. It makes me happy to know that you did the right thing. It runs in the family. Let's say it that way. Runs in the family. Sorry for my words, but I fucking love it. I absolutely fucking love it. Love it.
Matt, just some of the comments here. We get a lot of Alberta listeners saying like, "Come to Alberta, come to Alberta." Have you guys gotten any thought just to moving, kind of starting somewhere else, or are you kind of rooted there pretty good?
Yeah, we're evaluating. We're looking at things, looking at options for sure. Yeah, I've had a lot of people from Alberta say, "Come on out here." Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I've gotten that invitation quite often to go to Alberta too. I'm from Montreal. Like I travel all over the place, but I'm a Frenchie from Montreal, so I get it. But Alberta is more interesting than the rest of the provinces, especially in those type of contexts, ain't it?
Oh, sure. If anywhere it's not going to happen, it'll be Alberta.
So Matt, I don't know if there's something you wanted to you wanted to bring up, something you wanted to tell your audience, because I know that you're sharing with your X account right now. So is there something you want to say to your listeners?
Well, I think probably already said one of them is for all our unionized employees out there. I know there's millions of them across the country. Kind of look at your situation and realize that though they say Canada's a free country, if you're unionized, the freedoms that remain that haven't been stripped from by the government already, they're not yours. They're the unions. And consider that as you move forward. And I guess my general thing I always tell everybody is we live in a culture that is so stricken with fear that it's time to break that. It's time to break that, and it's time to speak up. It's time to speak your heart and consider, instead of worrying about what the consequence for you is next week, think about what the consequence is for your children in 10 or 20 years. And Canada's in a situation right now where what is going to be left to our kids is terrifying, frankly. It's terrifying. The nation will not be anything like it is now. And what we have now is nothing like what we had when I was a kid. And we need to really wake up and try to deal with that.
Yeah, I think just before we let you go, Matt, you look like you're about our age group, that early 40s, maybe late 30s on a good day age group. So I actually feel like, with men of this age group in this country, we really do have to speak up because we still remember that world, right? That memory's not going to, we're probably the last ones who do remember that world. If you're even 10 years younger than we are, I don't even really think you were old enough to remember that world. So, we're really the last chance. I think I have nothing but respect for the way you and your wife stood on principle there. So just wanted to say that we appreciate you, and hopefully we hear from you again.
Sure. Anytime.
Reach out, Matt. When you have updates, we'll happily have you back on to speak about it, no matter what the update is. If you want to do, I'm throwing it out there, if you want to do an episode with you and your son, hey, I'm down. I'm really down. I would love to talk to your son. Your son's awesome.
Yeah.
I absolutely love people his age.
It'll be a friendly environment here.
Oh, yeah.
We're
That's another statement.
Dads. Yeah.
But thank you for what you do. Thank you for raising your son the way you did. And I believe you have another son too. So I'm sure he's just as cool as the first one. So good job. Thanks for being here, and anytime you let me know, we'll have you back on.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate the time, Matt.
Have a good day.
Sir.
Take care.
Bye. Well, there you have it, man. He's a good
chat.
dude.
Yeah. Cool chat.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to get him for a while, and it finally happened, so I'm happy. But I didn't realize that was his son.
I didn't realize that either. Yeah,
I love it. That makes it so much sweeter for some reason. I love it.
Yeah. We got trying to get the son through the back door.
Hey, man.
We'll go to the dad.
We have like 9 minutes to go, so I want to bring up something because we talk about this stuff all the time. Yep. I don't know if you heard about this, but this is trending right now all over the place. There is a man police says a Vaughan resident accessed a legal owned and properly stored firearm, shot at 3 armed home invaders, injuring one who was later arrested and charged while seeking a treatment for a gunshot wound at the hospital. No charge have been laid against the gun owner. I don't know. I've heard about it. I already knew what we were talking about today, so I didn't investigate it. But here's a video that was shared by the CCFR, so it's only like 25 seconds long. So
Okay.
we should take some looks at it.
Police say after the break-in, a resident accessed a legally owned and properly stored firearm and shot at the suspect. A suspect is recovering in hospital after being shot by a resident during a home invasion in Vaughan. Police sharing footage of the incident at a home on Carville Woods Circle shortly before 1 o'clock this morning. Police say after the break-in, a resident accessed a legally owned and properly stored firearm and shot at the suspects, who got away in a black pickup truck. Well, not long after, a person was dropped off at a hospital with a gunshot wound. They're now facing charges in connection with the home invasion. 3 suspects are outstanding.
And they're saying, at least that CCFR is saying, that no charges have been laid.
That would be huge. That would be great.
Oh,
If
yes.
No charges were laid. Just before we go, I just want to quickly take this. Melissa says, you're live? Yes, we are, Melissa.
She was probably talking to Matt, because I believe she's feeding through Matt's X account. But yes,
gotcha.
Yes, we are live. But I love the fact that there's no charges that have been laid, because I don't know if you heard about that, but there was a video that was York Police. There was a video from Peel Police that was released. One of the Liberal MP from the Peel region was saying on camera that Canada does have self-defense, but it all has to do with the amount of force that you're using. And yesterday I made a video about it, and I think you know exactly where I went with this.
Sure.
But this is the problem in Canada, is yes, we have self-defense that is technically allowed in Canada, but like my prosecutor friend explained to me years ago, it's all a gray area. You are 100% at the mercy of the police service that arrests you, if they're gonna put charges or not. You're 100% at the mercy of the judge if it goes to court. You're at the mercy of the system
so you
itself.
might,
There's no it's not black and white, like let's say in Florida. If you enter my house uninvited, I have the right to do pretty much whatever.
Yeah, it's not black and white.
It's not black and white. You're at the mercy of the system. And even though you might get charged and the charges are dropped, just like the other case, I can't remember what the city was, but there was a case not too long ago where there was a home invader. The guy defended himself. I think he shot him with a crossbow or something like that. And the police came, he was charged, and then the charges were taken, like they were removed. But he was still, for months, he did not know, is he going to jail? Am I staying here? What's going to happen to me? How much money did he spend on his legal defense already?
So it
like that whole thing to say the system worked properly because the charges were removed. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. There should be, if you invade my house where my family lives, brother, there's no amount of force I will not use. That is a God-given right. I don't care what the government says. This is my right, my duty as a man to protect my family by any means necessary. Plain and 100%. Simple. There's no further discussions to be had. That is all.
Oh yeah. And I think this guy, even if he gets not charged, like that will be good, of course. I think what definitely probably saved him was the fact that one of those guys had a gun. One of those perps, you could see as they ran in, he had a clear handgun in his hand.
He was holding his pens. He was holding his pens.
No, there was definitely. Okay,
he was sagging.
Yeah, sagging his jeans. So certainly the prosecutor will probably say, well, perp had a gun, he had a gun, it was proportional force, and okay, that's clearly the right call. But the problem is, even if that guy didn't have a gun, there should not be charges. Right? Like, it shouldn't matter that he had a gun. I'd like to see it if it happens, there's no gun at all. The guy uses a gun to defend himself and he still doesn't face charges. When that happens, then I'll be like, okay, that's good news.
I agree. And man, I'm sorry, Matt. I know you're still in the back and I apologize for this joke, but I saw a meme about this the other day and it was saying, it was just a woman saying, if I go on a date with a man that loves guns, my first reaction is, how small is your penis? The first comment is priceless. The comment goes like this: somebody invaded my house. Instead of using my gun, I used my penis. It got very weird. The police showed up. It was strange. I got arrested. So now I just use guns.
Now I just do them.
I'd much use your guns.
Weird.
Don't use.
Yeah, don't make the same mistake I did. Don't use your penis on a home invader.
Yeah, it didn't go well. It was weird. The police was
Yeah.
confused. The guy was confused, and
Don't take advice
just use
from
your
this
guns.
woman. Yeah.
No, but I'm really happy to hear though that there's no charge laid, and you know that's something that was repeated
Minor
time and time
victories.
again. And for a mainstream media to say out loud that it was a legal gun owner and his firearms was stored properly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know why I love dogs, and I've always had big dogs. Like my German Shepherd at 100 pounds to me is a small dog. Like my dogs are normally bigger. But you know what's awesome about dogs like my dog is that if you try to get into my house, she's gonna go for you. She gives me plenty of time to go to my safe, take my firearms out, load my firearm, go down and see. I don't know what's worse. Do you want to be attacked by me or my dog?
Yeah.
That's a decision you will have to take, but
Yeah.
that's the beauty about a dog. It gives you the time to go to your safe. But I love the fact that on mainstream media, they actually said that he was a legal gun owner and his firearm was stored properly. So chances are he probably won't get charged with anything, which would be perfect because we haven't seen that in a very long time. We normally always get charged.
Yeah. So minor victories, small steps, but it's definitely a good step in the right direction.
Before you do your spill, because I know that little phrase at the end. Oh yeah. I just want to say, I know when it's coming. You're very easy to read, brother. I want to talk about we have 2 more shows this week and we have some guests tomorrow. So tomorrow we are joined by lawyer and founder of the Natural Health Product Protection Association, Sean Buckley, to speak about a big win they had in the form of Bill C-224. That's tomorrow, Wednesday. And on Thursday, we are joined by CCFR's VP of Public Relations, Tracy Wilson, to speak about the judgment that they will receive that same day in the morning about their appeal to the Supreme Court. So we'll probably be the first one to hear about it, but she is showing up to speak about her appeal and where their court case is with the Supreme Court of Canada. That's on Thursday, 7:30.
Yep. All right. Well, you're definitely going to want to come back and tune in for that. If you are tuning in for the first time and you want to support the show, please consider becoming a member. You can do that through YouTube for the low price of $2.99 per month. Also, buy us a coffee in the upper left-hand corner of your screen is another way you support us. And of course, the third way, just keep coming back. Throw those comments in there. As you saw tonight, we do take a lot of comments. Agree with us, disagree with us, whatever. Just get them out there, and we will get to them. Other than that, folks, have a great rest of your night. We will catch you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.